1.1 FM, AM 1160. Our friends from the Humane Society always have something to share with us. If this recorder ever starts working, I'll have something to share with them. There it finally goes. My goodness. Our conversation with Beth Finegan and Bob Nastase from the Indiana County Humane Society, brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Okay, so the first thing I need to pass along to you today is this just came in. A 9-month-old miniature pinscher named Zeus is missing this morning in Coral. Last seen yesterday morning on Cedar Street in Coral at his home. He has black fur, brown face, legs, and white paws, wearing a black collar with dog bones on it. If you've seen him, you can contact Linda at 724-549-2176. They're going to get us a picture to post on the website as well. So there you go. Beth, if that dog shows up at the Humane Society, you don't know where it goes, right?
Absolutely. We sure do.
And this came in today as well. There's a new movie out with Channing Tatum called Dog. Have you heard about it?
Oh, yes, I sure have.
This is from an expert who says that the American Kennel Club says don't get a dog like the one that he got in the movie Dog, because it's a Belgian malinois, and he says it's really not a good breed for the average dog owner. They're high drive, high anxiety, high workability. They require a lot of physical and mental stimulations. If you're not going to be able to provide that for your mal, then that's not the dog for you. And just because you get that kind of dog doesn't mean Channing Tatum is going to show up and flex his muscles at you. So remember that as well. But it does point out, Beth and Bob as well, that the human match to the dog is a pretty important thing, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely.
Yes,
And
it is.
It's interesting that the AKC made that statement, because I'm sure people are going to think that's a fantastic dog, and it is a fantastic dog. But in the situation of being your domesticated dog in your house in a suburb, it probably wouldn't work too well.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about a few things this morning, including Indiana County Humane Society involved in a pretty big rescue effort last week with other agencies.
Yes, most definitely. So last week we actually did 2 humane rescues, and literally almost overnight we doubled our dog family at the shelter, and we continue to go out every single day since then and rescue more dogs, and we'll do so until all those dogs are safe. We have been working with other rescues, and they also are rescuing these dogs and bringing them to their shelters and rescues too. Mm-hmm. So it really does take a team in this situation, and our team at the shelter, our canine team especially, is working hard, and they can handle this. They've handled this before, but what we need is help now from the community and from our supporters. You can imagine the extensive expenses that come when you add 19 new animals into your shelter, veterinary visits, food. They're all
laundry. Just to put that into perspective, we're reviewing getting a 4th dryer, because every day a dog gets a fresh, clean blanket, and there's one from yesterday has to be laundered. So we're way behind on laundry.
Yeah. So how can people help?
So people can help in various ways. I just wanted to mention these dogs are on a very specialized diet, and this food isn't really easy to get. But we do get it from Chewy.com. So one of the ways people can help is by donating gift cards, Chewy.com gift cards to the shelter. Certainly by making monetary donations. You can mail them or bring them to the shelter at 191 Airport Road. Our friends at Noblestein have a donation bin for supplies set up at their brewery, and also a jar on their counter, on their bar, collecting monetary donations as well. So, and they're open Wednesday through Sunday at 1170 Wayne Avenue. So those are the main ways to help us. We also have a GoFundMe. If you go to our Facebook page, you can see the GoFundMe with a couple pictures of the pups. They're beautiful. I mean, they're just the sweetest dogs, and
very non-aggressive, very
Yeah. So we know with a little bit of time and rehab, our team will be able to get them to the point where they're adoptable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So that is one big issue that we need to handle right off the bat. Another, and I don't know which one of you wants to address this, but let's talk about the fact that we're also anxious for spring to come.
Yes.
And for the weather to turn. But it hasn't yet, and we need to be careful about treating our pets as if it's the middle of May.
Couple of things on that. I mean, this weekend we're supposed to have some 10, 11 degree overnight temperatures. We're supposed to have sleet, freezing rain. So if you do have an outside pet, you want to make sure that the water isn't frozen, the food isn't frozen. Give them some extra straw or whatever to keep them more comfortable. And for sure, if you can bring them on those cold nights, bring them inside. Some of the signs, a dog that's lifting its paws, they're just like your hands when they're cold, they begin to hurt. So they're lifting their paws and shivering, and it's very stressing on an animal. Another thing, a sign of spring, is it's once again cat season. Some of the local spay-neuter clinics are already seeing, because of the warm weather stint that we had a while ago, some pregnant cats coming in to the clinics. So if you take care of community cats, again, one cat can become 100 cats in 1 year, and it really draws down on the resources of, hey, can you take these kittens in? And we don't have room, et cetera, et cetera. So try and make arrangements with SNP, Cat Aid, et cetera, et cetera. Cat Aid is having
they're having, I think, 4 or 5 spay-neuter clinics during the month of March. So you just need to reach out to them. They can be found on Facebook along with SNP, SNIPP, and you can arrange with them, hopefully, to get a spot to neuter or spay your cat.
Yeah.
Very important. Not just cats, but dogs.
Absolutely.
We have to work really hard to educate everybody that it's important to keep the pet population down and healthy by spaying and neutering.
Yeah, and you can get through to one group of people, and then you're going to have to come back in another 3 or 4 months and educate a whole nother group of people.
Yep,
So,
it's ongoing.
That never ends. You've got some other things going on as well, including a big announcement about from Delaney Subaru, huh?
Yes, Delaney Subaru has reached out to us again to partner with them in the 4th year of Subaru Loves Pets, which is an event that happens actually in October. And we strive to do 31 adoptions in October, and that's supported by Subaru. And this past October, we actually did 37 adoptions and received a nice donation from Subaru for that. They also like to focus on the underdogs. So these would be the dogs that are maybe blind or hard of hearing or elderly or have been in the shelter for a while. So that's Subaru's focus, but during that time we adopt out all dogs and cats, and I think we even had a couple hamsters or guinea pigs.
I think we did too, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
So a special thank you to Delaney Subaru for being such a great supporter of the shelter.
Yeah. Speaking of the shelter itself, you're going to try to do some improvements on the dog play area. Huh?
Yeah. We were fortunate to get a very nice grant from the locally based Lloyd E. Gluck Charitable Trust, and it's going to help us with a project to improve our play yards in the back of the shelter by putting down a concrete pad as a base and then building a roof overhead. So now it's going to be an all-weather type area for our dogs to go out and have some exercise and play and enrichment. So we're very thankful to have received that grant.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And as always, we talked about expenses with the new pets that are coming in, the rescued dogs, but there's always expenses for the Humane Society, so there's always a need to raise money. And Bob, I know this is your big deal here. Huh? Here comes the gun bash, huh?
Right. The gun bash is April 2nd. Tickets are flying out. I personally don't have any tickets. All the books are out. They're being sold. I gave up my book that I was personally going to sell the other day, and it was gone and by the end of that day. So if you're wanting to go, you better reach out. There's some at Nick's Bullseye Firearms. I believe there's some at White's Variety yet. There was a couple books over there, so better sooner than later.
So it's April 2nd. Where is it?
Altman Fire Hall. Doors open at 3:30. First drawing is at 4:20. We'll be giving something away every 10 minutes. It's a pretty intense couple of hours there.
And lots of fun.
And lots of fun.
Entertainment from Bob. Right?
That's it.
Well, it is. In that case, it's not the Beth and Bob show. It's the Bob show. But that's okay. And I have something else to add. That weekend is actually really exciting. Mm-hmm. We also have on that Sunday, April 3rd, the Stunt Dog Show at the KCAC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And those dogs... Finally, I know, seriously. Those dogs are all rescue dogs, and they will be doing their stunts. There are 2 performances. One's at 2, the other one's at 6 in the evening. And they're running a special where if you come to the KCAC to buy your tickets and you bring a donation of a pet supply or food or cat litter or a dog toy, you get $5 off each adult ticket for each supply that you bring. Yeah. And that's if you go to the box office at KCAC. This event is also sponsored by our friends at Delaney Subaru.
There you go.
So, and the proceeds are going to benefit not only the Indiana County Humane Society, but also Four-Footed Friends.
Box office opens in another 3 minutes, by the way, which means we're getting toward the end of our segment. We have 2 of them that we can give you here, Beth. I know you've got the flea market coming up.
Yep, flea market is going to be in the middle of May on the 14th and 15th. Start collecting things to donate. Donations will be accepted at certain times in the 2 weeks prior. So time to clean out your garage, your basement, put some things aside. Mm-hmm. We have a very successful flea market each year.
It's not only a good fundraiser, it's a good community event, too, because one man's junk is another man's treasure, and people can find things they need.
Yeah. Including the T-shirt they won at Bob's Gun Bash last year.
Right, perhaps that is true.
Those things are collector's items now. And membership drive is going on right now.
Yes, and our membership drive is going on. The mailing's going out tomorrow. There's links on our website, incohumanesociety.com, for not only individual and family members, but also businesses to become members of the Indiana County Humane Society.
We have covered a lot of ground here this morning.
We really have.
In a very short time, and probably at way too fast of a pace. But that all being the case, if people want to learn more about any of these things, what should they do?
Well, they can certainly call the shelter or go to our website, check out our Facebook page, or just stop by the shelter and ask questions there on the spot.
There you go.
Yes, thank you, Todd.
My pleasure. Thanks to both of you for coming in and visiting with us.
Thanks for having us, Todd.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.